Last week's physical rivalry, this week's distant game, coach's corner, and player profile. All this today on Game Day. Hello and good morning, Casa Roble, and welcome to Game Day. I'm Bryn McCarthy, here with Marcus Sampson and Michael Povey as my fellow sports analysts. Seeing last week's game, how did you guys overall judge the Rams playing?
Well, I think defensively the Rams played really well. The defense got a lot of stops. They were able to stop Oakmont's offense. Offensively, there once again were too many turnovers, and I think that they need to find that click. They need to start clicking this week against Paradise.
You know, Marcus said it really well. Defense did a fantastic job saving the ball whenever we needed it, and although offense did have a lot of turnovers, they scored the points when we needed them, coming out with the win over Oakmont.
Okay, well, in case you guys missed it, the Rams did play the Oakmont Vikings last Friday. To start the game off, Oakmont will have the ball at the 20, but Jake Minshew penetrates into the backfield and tackles the running back for a 5-yard loss. Casa now with their first offensive play. A wide receiver motions into the backfield, but the handoff is going to go to Gabe Alvarado, who just perfectly fits into the hole and breaks away into the end zone for a Rams score.
Giving the ball back to the Vikings, their offense struggles a little bit when Minshew once again gets into the backfield, but this time causes a safety. Now, 2nd and 6, Oakmont ball. Mark Holcomb blitzes straight through the middle and makes the tackle, sending them back 10 yards. Oakmont, still on offense, pitches the ball off. The running back cuts back and tries to stay clear of trouble, but Casa cornerback Aaron Reed makes a big tackle, pushing the Vikings back 8 yards. Casa, getting a chance on offense, throws the screen to Brennan McCarthy, who gets lost in a big pile of players, but somehow manages to get out and breaks outside and upfield, scoring for the Rams. This play was also featured as one of the KCRA3's plays of the week.
The Vikings try to answer back with a pass play, but Seth Avis intercepts the throw and returns it to the 25. A little later in the game, Oakmont tries to pass again, and Trayvon Madrid dives for the interception. This game, Casa Roble's offense was all about the big plays as Alvarado gets the handoff and once again bursts up the field, running the ball in for another Rams score. The ending score of this game turned out to be 29-13, Casa wins. Yes, last game the Rams did set a personal team record with a total of 291 total rushing yards, most of these accomplished by your very own Gabe Alvarado. But moving on to this week, the Rams are going to pack their bags and hop onto the bus to travel to Paradise to face the 3-0 Bobcats. Michael, what is their offense going to look like?
Brendan, they run a very different style wing T offense, but it is nothing the defense hasn't seen or prepared for in the past. I'm sure they'll be able to handle whatever they have for them.
Yes, and defensively, the Bobcats do put a lot of stress on their 2-star outside cornerbacks, who together one game this season have held the team to only 45 passing yards. And that's just the outside though. The Bobcats also contain a big threat on their defensive line.
That's right, Brendan. Number 76 on the defensive line. He is 6'6" and 250 pounds. He's a very aggressive player, and he's looking to stop our run game, so we got to be able to execute, Brendan.
Yes, we do.
And to give us a little inside look and what we might be seeing against Paradise this week, we're going to go to Marcus in his little corner. Marcus?
Thank you, Michael. As you can see here, offensively, Paradise is going to run a variation of the wing T. They will have one wide receiver, but he's going to be kind of tight to the line of scrimmage. Defensively, they're going to run a 3-4 cover 1. There's going to be 3 down linemen, 2 overhangs, 2 middle linebackers. One of the overhangs is probably going to be coming about every play, which means one of the high safeties is going to have to cover his receiver. And between 33 and 11, they're going to be on the outsides. They're big corners, so our wideouts are going to have a tough time tonight. And back to you guys.
And thank you, Marcus, for that detailed look.
That's right, Brandon. Marcus did give us a little inside scoop on what we might be seeing in those aggressive corners, number 33 and 11. So that means the wide receiver core is going to have to step up if we're going to throw the ball this week. And one of them that's going to step up is this week's player profile, Me.
Number 4, standing at 5'10 and weighing 165 pounds, is one of CASA's studly wide receivers and kickers. His name, Michael Povey.
I try to lead by example in what I do, and that starts at the very end of season. It's from off season to summer to during season. It's all year long. And in order to do that, you got to be in the weight room. So I'm in there lifting with my friends like Brandon and Sean.
This athlete doesn't just kick 40-yard field goals, he also catches touchdowns as well and prides himself in playing both of these two positions.
Well, I consider myself good at both positions because mainly practice is for wide receiver. For me, that's what comes first. And as a kicker, I take that practice more seriously in my off time, like when I'm at home.
He knows that his team needs to work hard this Friday in order to win and continue hustling into the coming weeks.
Well, the Rams got to go into the Paradise game with a really high mentality. They got to be. Paradise is a very small school. That doesn't mean they have any less heart than we do, but we got to come in and we got to prove that we have a winning team. And going into the bye, hopefully with a win this week, we got to keep practice up because we're going to have 2 weeks of full practice, and we got to be ready for when league starts. We really need to be on our game in order to not only go to playoffs but do well in playoffs.
This is his 4th season playing for CASA and his 2nd year playing varsity football. He believes his team could go a long way.
Well, I think our team is a good one. Obviously, I've been playing with the guys I've been playing with for about 4 years now, and some of them 5 because we did Junior Rams before this. But we have a lot of talent, we have a lot of heart, and we're starting to get things together. And hopefully just in time for league. And when league comes along, I plan to go 5-0. I don't see a team out there that's working harder than we're working.
Well, if it's a 5-0 season that Michael Povey wants, the work starts tonight. Michael Povey, we are expecting a big game from you tonight.
That is not the only person we're going to be expecting a big game from. I got to sit down with Coach Ryan the other day in this week's edition of Coach's Corner. Good morning and welcome to Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Michael Povey, sitting down with the one and only big dog, Coach Ryan. Thank you for being here, Coach.
Hey, thanks for having me.
As always, Coach. You know, last week was a great win. We're now 2-2, and we're going to Paradise. What is this road trip? How much of a mental effect do you think this road trip is going to have on us?
Well, it shouldn't have too much of an effect at all. I mean, it's a 2-hour road trip on a bus. We don't take buses very often, but we're going to a relatively small school that's a football powerhouse. So looking forward to the trip and the game Friday night.
So what are you expecting to see from Paradise Bobcats? This team we haven't traditionally played at all. I mean, we've seen Oakmont, we've seen Wood Creek, we've seen Intercom even. What is going to be different about these guys?
Well, they're a version of the wing tee. They head up quickly, they run to the line of scrimmage, they all clap their hands in unison and then launch their plays offensively. So the defense has their work cut out. They have to be prepared, they have to be in position, they have to be ready to go, and based on the way we played at Oakmont, I think we will be.
Well, how you said before, defensively speaking, they do run a version of the wing tee. Is all the preparation you've seen from teams like Wood Creek and Intercom helped you prepare for this game in particular?
I'm hoping that Intercom didn't prepare us at all for this game since we gave up over 40 points. I'm hoping that we are going to be better prepared this week for Paradise's version of the wing tee. It's not the same, but they have a couple of really nice linemen and a very good running back.
Fantastic. That's all I need from you today, Coach. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And back to you guys.
Coming out of Coach's Corner, we are now moving on to key questions. And the first key question for tonight, CASA's wide receivers, can they get open against these two studly cornerbacks of Paradise Bobcats?
Well, I think if they keep working on their releases and if they show that if they come off the ball, same on pass and runs, they'll be able to get by these corners.
You know, to be honest, watching the film, they did vacate a lot. So if the play calling's there should be a lot of inside and small route combinations to be thrown.
I definitely agree with you guys. And now moving on to the next question, stopping the run game. Can the Rams defense stop this run-heavy team?
Well, if there's any strength that the Rams have on defense, it's stopping the run. We showed it against Wood Creek and also against Oakmont. We can stop the run, and I don't think it should be a problem.
You know, with our linebacking core and our defensive line, we should have no problem, putting a stop to whatever run game they have. And if they eventually switch to pass games, our corners and D-backs, I think they'll be very ready for whatever the receivers have to go.
All right, guys. CASA wins if?
Well, Brennan, CASA wins if the execution is there, just like it is every week. Defensively, you got to stop the run because that is their strong suit. And offensively, we have to move the ball. We have to have consistent drives, and we got to come up with points.
Exactly. I think offensively, the Rams just can't turn the ball over, and defensively, that we should just be able to stop the run, and that's how they're going to win, is by stopping that run.
Okay. And the Bobcats, what do they do to win?
Well, the Bobcats have to rely on whatever playmakers they have, which is their cornerbacks and their 6'6" defensive linemen, and we have to be able to get around them. We got to be able to work through whatever they have to throw at us.
Exactly. I think if Paradise is able to run the ball very effectively like they have in their first 3 games, they're going to be able to beat the Rams this week.
Alright, well that's it for this week, Casa. Even though it's a long drive, be sure to come out to Paradise High School at 7 o'clock to watch your Casa Roble Rams dominate!